Hello and welcome to possibly episode 5 of Dormroom Diplomacy. And I say possibly, if you guys are hearing this, believe it or not, it is an episode, and it is actually episode
That
5.
is true.
Since 5 comes after 4. But I also say possibly because this might never see the light of day. We just recorded episode 4. It was a good episode. We were pretty happy with how that turned out. A little bit better energy, a little bit better flow, I must say.
The flow state was there, dude.
And so now we're just gonna shoot the shit a little bit. Just converse as conversational human beings do. And
True.
we're just gonna kind of see where this one takes us. Yeah.
But the house playlist.
Holy shit, bro.
Fuck, man.
I'm telling you, just house music. I don't understand it. I have never liked like pop that much, or even like rap that much, or even like EDM that much. But I discovered.
For context, this is it's not like psychedelic. It's not like indie. It's not like, like pop music.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a fever dream.
Listen to
half the time.
There's the playlist that I've been listening to is just a public, huge Spotify playlist. It's called Deep House 2022 by Selected. I really like that. I also have a Spotify playlist of my own on my Spotify account. So, Jack Arnold, if you want to go look at the Spotify account. But that I do enjoy, but I don't know. There's something like euphoric about it. It's like, just gives me energy. It's like, I like indie music, alternative music, even indie rock more for, the music itself. It's like, I just like the style of music, and I can appreciate like almost like the art, but just house music it's just the energy that it gives me. Unrivaled.
It's honestly, it is. It's unbeatable. It's unrivaled. And especially when you have when you're lacking, like just in a moment of dire lack of motivation to do something.
I know.
It literally turns your day around.
Yeah, it really does. I listened to it this morning and it just got me like I've started throwing it on to warm up for Valorant games.
You know what it should be?
And it's just ridiculous.
It should be your alarm.
It really should be. Although I want to make my alarm the all-in intro.
Going all in.
Yeah, exactly. God, my roommate would hate me. That'd be amazing. I might make my intro, or might make my alarm a house song. It's just, man.
You'd be,
Like, these people are talking about, like, cold showers and, drink a lot of water and eat healthy food and exercise. Okay, you can, be, fucking 10 beers deep the night before, go to bed at 2 a.m., have to wake up at 6, to get to a class, get to work or something. And, they're like, oh, get sleep, drink water, exercise. Nah, bro. Fucking throw on the house playlist. Iron Man, okay? I'm telling you. Unbeatable.
Yeah.
I kid, though. I kid.
Just the literal response. It is really unrivaled.
I know. It's just, it's strange. Like, no other music, like, it just makes me want to, like, fucking move around. Like, I just, like, kind of was thinking about it, and I could just, like, my feet were moving around, and I was just kind of like, and I was just playing a video game. You instantly
get restless.
I know. I'm like, what the hell? I just want to
it's crazy.
Run around, and it's so weird.
It is weird.
It's good stuff. I love it. But it needs a mood. You can't just play it whenever. Like, it's like it's a tool in the toolkit.
It really is, yeah. Yeah, it is. Have you seen the car thing? Spotify's car thing?
I have, yeah. It's cool.
It's pretty cool. It's actually, I never got invited to the beta.
Oh,
Thanks, Spotify. I applied. I never heard anything. I was going to pay you the money, and
yeah,
I never got invited to your beta.
I mean, I get it for people who don't have a great in-car sound system, and like don't want to put their phone up there. But like, I mean, if you can just throw your smartphone up there, it's gonna be the same thing. but it's
Pretty
cool.
much, yeah.
It is cool.
It is a cool idea.
I really like it. It's a great idea for them to
Yeah.
kind of branch into the hardware side of things too.
Yeah, yeah. I just think it's an interesting thing that I never thought Spotify would delve themselves into.
I know, yeah. I think
and now it's publicly available. Like now it's an actual like
yeah,
public product that you can
see
go on their
ads for
website
it
and
all
go
the
buy.
time.
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
it's kind of cool. But it's like a novelty piece of tech for like a non-streamer that the Stream Deck is, for instance.
Yeah,
Like that's what I like to kind of
but I would
liken it to.
I would agree. Like, you know, it's like cool to have, but like, do you really need it?
Yeah, no.
Is it really providing you?
I mean, for some people, it would probably provide quite a bit of help, but I don't think.
Yeah, no, there's a definite use case for it. So
for sure. But in other tech news, Apple's event was this week.
True.
Have you heard anything?
I really, to be completely honest, haven't seen all that much. I just looked at the new AirPods. It's like the new phones. I am interested to see the technology, but like I'm not gonna buy one, so I don't really care that much. I looked at the AirPods, but I didn't watch much of it, to be honest. So
I didn't watch it. I just saw a lot of the clips. But have you seen the background meme of Tim Cook swimming towards the dynamic island?
No, I have not.
You need to go look at this.
Really?
So they, you know how the notch was a thing and it's been a thing? Well, now they've fully embraced the notch. And
no.
They've got a screen on the top of it as well. Like the screen goes around the notch.
No.
Like it's fully a part of the phone. And I am livid because, 16:9 content, normal, sideways content will be a terrible viewing experience on this new phone.
This is disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. However, the best part about and so essentially it can use the screen and it can expand and contract for like the time and like for like timers and shit like that, right? It's terrible. You need to go look at it.
I'm looking at a picture of it.
The best part about it is the new name. It's called the Dynamic Island. It's called the Dynamic Island.
Dude, it's literally just like a bean sitting there on the phone.
It's terrible.
Oh, that's awful. That does not look good at all.
Anyway, there's a meme circulating of Tim Cook swimming towards the Dynamic Island.
Okay,
it's kind of funny.
That's pretty good. Fuck, that looks disgusting. I'm looking at that right now.
It's not good.
Imagine.
It's not good.
Okay, imagine how clean it would look if that was just all screen. Oh,
I know, and it's not like the tech isn't there.
Like, yes, okay.
Like the tech is there.
Embed the camera. That's fine. Like just small little dot up top for your front facing.
No. Under-screen cameras exist.
Yeah.
Jack. They've existed for a while.
Yeah, it's just a statement at this point, and
it totally is. And
because we're Apple, and
it's stupid.
This is unique and looks different, and you're all still gonna buy it because you are, hooked into with an IV drip to our ecosystem.
I know. It's so stupid.
That's great.
But and the other thing that's kind of making me angry, so Apple right now, they're basically since like a while back, it's been like 5, it's probably been more like 8 or 9 generations. They've been making their own silicon in-house. So their processors are all designed and manufactured by Apple and Apple employees.
Right.
Which is like, that's a monumental task. Being in engineering, SoCs are hard.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that you can admire about how they've chosen to run their company is just controlling the supply chain at every level. Like, that's what gets you to this point. I mean,
you're not a $1 trillion company for nothing.
Right, exactly.
And systems on a chip, SoCs, they're not easy to do. They are very, very difficult to actually get right. And to do it to the proficiency that Apple's doing it is insane. Yeah. Like companies like Intel and AMD, the two big processor companies, the big, computing companies, they've been around for like 50 years, 60
Yeah.
years, and have been doing this for that long.
Right.
Intel even longer. Apple's not been in the game more than what, like 30 years? It's like 1990s is when Apple was founded.
Can't really.
Maybe it was
I'm
the
not
late
sure.
80s. I'm pretty sure it was around then.
It's pretty admirable just how
It is.
and what they've just done for like technology in general, but more so honestly, just the way they've built their company is
Yeah, for sure. It's
just,
very cool.
like you can't really knock them for any of that, you know.
No, you really can't. But anyway, you know, they've been making their own silicon, right? Their silicon, it's great. Like holy shit, it's amazing. They're like significantly better than anything out there by a far margin. And here's the thing. So essentially what their naming scheme is, they have A and then a number for their processors, and that's their naming scheme. And then they add fancy buzzwords after it, like bionic or
I know.
neural networking or AI. Like this is just publicism, whatever. Like that's fine. I don't really care. But and of course those are on the pro models. You have neural networking core or the bionic core, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Marketing is marketing. But what I find really interesting this year is that so last year we were on what was the SKU A15 chips. It was the A15 chips. And there was an A15 chip in the iPhone 13, the iPhone 13 Pro and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the iPhone 13 Pro had the A15 Bionic chip or whatever it was called. The somewhat slightly stepped up, somewhat slightly higher core clocked based processor, right? Just slightly. Just so that they can call it Pro, right?
Right.
In addition to the extra camera and a larger display, right? All stuff that some people would want. But this year, for the first year, so the iPhone 14 will have an A15 Bionic chip in it.
Yeah.
It won't have an A16 chip. It won't have an A16 chip. But the iPhone Pro Max and the iPhone Pro will have the A16 chip in it.
Okay.
So
that is actually good to hear.
And it's significant. It is actually like a significant amount of processing power from the A. And it might not be, it's a significant amount of processing power. I think it's like 20% extra processing power. But what's even more significant is it's like 15% more efficient as well. So
that's always been such a small distinction between the regular and pro models. Like typically, like even it'll just be like your camera hardware that sets it apart, and it's like you can't really justify stepping up for just that. I mean, some people.
The big screen is really nice.
That's true.
The big screen is really nice.
But I'm glad they're finally doing that. I'm kind of hearing about all this for the first time because I haven't been keeping up. But that is actually pretty nice to hear.
It is kind of nice to hear. They had a lot of A15 chips sitting around still. But a lot of the incentive for this actually was because they're so far ahead of the curve. Why would you release new technology so quickly?
Absolutely. I mean, that's always been the trend.
It's economics.
Apple's always been the last to introduce new technology, whether it's like even like, thumb scanning or Face ID or like all of these features. They're always the last company, or like they're always late to implement.
Yeah.
And it's mostly for two reasons. A, it's Apple. They don't really care that much. And also there's like such a, I guess, sense of that it needs to be like perfect. It's got to be like, up to the Apple standard before we put it on our devices, which and obviously that's what they're going to say
because of it.
Right. Yeah. Like that's what they're going to claim is, we've just been taking so long to perfect it. But also there's not a whole lot of push. Like they're pretty aware of their stance in the markets.
Yeah. Why beat the best when beating the best means beating yourself?
Exactly. Right.
Like, and unfortunately it does kind of quench the fires of innovation.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, for me, what Apple is truly doing the best right now, is in more of their laptops as well as their desktops.
Oh yeah, M2 Silicon It's
Yeah,
insane.
like the
It's
phones,
insane.
amazing, but like Samsung's very competitive with Apple if you're just
Oh
looking
yeah,
at the
totally.
numbers, and honestly
Yeah.
edges them out in a lot of areas. It's just the Apple ecosystem is just so appealing.
Right.
Where Apple's really making the headway that I like to see is in their M2 silicon and kind of just creating the whole like managing the whole supply chain like they do with all the
Right.
iOS devices or like the iPad OS devices,
Mhm.
and bringing that over to the laptop side, the PC side, or just the desktop side, and kind of seeing where that can go because it's crazy how efficient their systems are when
Oh,
everything's
it's
made in
insane.
house.
It's insane. Right. When you design everything and you have, so when you have
Yeah.
like, just from an engineering standpoint, just from like a business standpoint as well, when you have your, SOPs, your standard operating procedures, all those, they're all defined. When you
Mhm.
have your requirements, all your, this shall do this should do that, right? When you have all that laid out and then you have the engineers in house
Mhm.
R&D it themselves, and
Right.
then you actually build the software that goes on it, it's going to be an integrated and flush system, especially for a company as large and as, influential as an Apple. And
Yeah.
with as much money and
Absolutely.
software they have, yeah, it is really them switching to in-housing everything was the best decision Apple could have ever made.
Oh yeah. No. And it is truly interesting to see just from an innovation standpoint of how far they're going to be able to push this and what
Yep.
kind of, what's going to be prompted for the other companies that they're competing with.
Yeah.
Because, there is still competition out there and,
Yeah.
one would like to hope that will come to fruition.
Eventually, yep. But no, yeah, like what you said about the laptop industry. The laptops, I mean, w- a recent thing with the new laptops that were released at WWDC, um, they have HDMI ports and they have a USB port and they have an SD card reader. Like what?
I
What type
know.
of design philosophy change did you guys take?
I know.
As far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, Tim Cook still is in charge there. And what
what
exactly happened?
what the hell's going on? You guys
What
trying
the
to
hell
like
did you do?
please customers and stuff?
Ah, and that's the thing with a company like Apple. They are so intelligent yet pretentious at the same time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of funny. And cuz obviously like they could have put that on the MacBooks
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
And it's just yeah.
You're gonna have our product our way, and we know you're gonna buy it
Right,
anyway.
yeah. And then, people were finally getting kind of tired of like, "Ah, man, it's really annoying. I have to buy it, this dongle, this adapter, all that."
Yeah,
And then, just as it's about to go, the curve is rounding, it's going down. Apple's seeing it, they've had this planned out for years. And just
yeah.
when it passes the threshold, oh, yeah, okay, we'll add that. That's easy. We've already had that designed for years. What?
Uh huh. Yeah, it's just sitting in the CAD files, just
Yeah.
on their local servers,
Oh,
just in R&D systems. Yeah.
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 Let's throw an HDMI port on this one. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just task some guys to it. It's all good. We'll just make some more jobs.
Good stuff. Good
Um,
stuff.
it is good stuff. But yeah, another thing that ties right into the whole dongle slash adapter slash port usage situation. Do you see that in the EU? All phones not using a USB standard past the year 2024 are banned.
That's awesome. Seriously though. I don't know.
Yeah.
All of this needs to become somewhat standardized. Like I get new technology, you know, like I guess superseding what's already there and then
Yeah.
yeah, okay. But when different manufacturers are currently producing devices with different inputs or outputs when it could all be standardized, it's like gotta have fucking
And your
15
MacBooks have
chargers
fucking
at all
USB
times.
C. Your MacBooks, the MacBooks that it's so annoying.
I know.
It enrages me. The MacBooks, your freaking MacBooks, have USB-C. You charge off of USB-C. How nice would it be if I used that same charger? Because for a fact, I know that Apple's USB-C ports on their, a couple of years ago up till now's MacBooks are both-way charging. How nice would it be for me to use that same
What?
cable I carry around all the time to charge my
No.
MacBook, to plug it into my phone and be like, oh, wow, I have a data connection. I have a power connection if I need it. Literally just using one cable that you provided. And you're trying to fucking get rid of e-waste. Are you kidding me? I don't know.
Dude,
You're taking away my charging block, and you're telling me that you're getting rid of e-waste, but you're still making another form of connectivity, and you're using a different form for another product with another SKU.
It's great. That would just make way too much damn sense. All right.
It would, and that's the problem. It's profits. It's profits. It is totally profits.
Yeah. What
and
can you do?
Unfortunately, here's another thing. In Brazil, actually, this was a headline as well. In Brazil, the Brazilian government, judicial, some sort of court system, essentially ordered Apple to include a charging brick or block in their phones, with their phones, with the literature stating on the account that it is considered in our system of publicly produced consumer goods, it is considered a incomplete good and cannot be for sale without a fine. Yes, wow. I'm dead serious.
That's hilarious.
I am dead serious.
I mean, it is dumb. Like, let's be honest. Yeah. I mean, how pretentious is that? No. Everyone already has one of our chargers. We don't need to give them more.
It was the same year. Like you did. Also, it was the year they switched over to the year after they switched over to USB-C based charging bricks.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone has the USB Type A charging bricks. Yes, they're literally everywhere on this planet.
Yeah.
I understand that.
I know.
You switched.
The USB-C ones are terrible. I mean, I still don't have anything. I just have one USB-C
They're not
brick.
terrible. They're not terrible.
Okay.
You can't say they're terrible in idea. They're terrible in the way that they executed it. They're great chargers.
No,
don't get me wrong. They charge your phone way faster.
Absolutely.
Like,
I have one.
Functionality.
I use it. It's the best charger I have, hands down. But my God, could this have been implemented much, much better?
And like that one, I'm a little bit less mad about because that technology, fast charging.
Yeah, I know. That's the
really
thing.
That's
the thing that's hard.
A couple years ago,
you do want to be using the latest technology, and so like that I can understand because you don't want to be using old gen stuff when you can be charging faster.
Yeah,
but it's just the separate. Oh man.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
But
can't
the
find
one
them.
thing that I will always have respect for Apple for is they set out to build a premium quality, consumer good, and they always return on that.
Yeah.
They never fail. They never miss.
I mean,
they have controversies.
They just have very, very sound business practices.
Yeah.
It's like
all around.
It's like a piece of art. Just makes me want to cry.
I mean, I don't know if it's that good. There's a lot of, from the tech side, there's a lot of controversial shit. But,
it's just, they do let me rephrase that. They are really good at benefiting themselves.
Whatever they're doing.
Like, they are just the best at being selfish and egotistical and helping themselves. Totally. And that in itself is beautiful.
I mean,
in a twisted, sadistic way.
Why were they dubbed the world's first $1 trillion company?
I know. It's just, I mean, they nailed their fundamentals and they're just methodical in their approach on the marketing side, on the technological side. And I mean, you can knock them for all kinds of things, but you can't knock them for that.
Nope, you can't. There's another couple of cool features on the new iPhone.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So,
because I really haven't seen.
One of them, So a little bit of tech background.
Hmm.
One of the really, if you're on the internet and you're not living under a rock, one of the really big recent trends has been like overlanding and going off the grid per se, living in like a van, converting it into a home. That's a big,
Hmm.
young American thing to do, right?
Hmm.
A lot of people are trying to switch over to that lifestyle. And what it causes is there's a lot of people going out into areas where they perhaps don't necessarily have the ability to get reception or perhaps uh, report an emergency or, communicate with family after long periods of time. Just reasons why people wouldn't have the ability to communicate.
Hmm.
And I know firsthand that like satellite phones and satellite based technology is really, really expensive.
Right.
Like a satellite phone is
Yeah.
like $1,500 for a satellite phone. Plus, you have to put a plan on it, and it's just a satellite phone. That's it. It is
Right.
just a satellite phone. And for like your crazy hikers and stuff like that, like I get it. It's understandable. That's fine. But it is not in the budget for a lot of people, unfortunately.
Yeah. No.
Especially when you're doing van life, even though it may look expensive on the face of it, on the cusp of it, it really probably isn't, all things considered. I mean,
Mhm.
it might be a little bit more initial investment, but you're living in a van. You don't have a mortgage.
No, it's not.
Um,
I mean, it's much cheaper and it gives a lot of people a lot of freedom, which is kind of the cool part about it.
it's a great thing. But anyway, the new feature, what it does essentially is it there's an app built into iOS now that allows you to essentially um, point your phone in such a way where it aligns with a satellite in the sky, and it gives it just enough. It has just enough signal integrity and signal strength to send out a small um, log data of your location, what an emergency may be.
Mm.
It can send out coordinates. It can, call for EMS and, rescue response, or people who just are on the road or, in the middle of nowhere for long hikes. Like a lot of people like to do the Continental Divide Trail. And
Mhm.
if you do that from top to bottom, there is a lot of sections that don't have cell service. And a lot of people just like to update families and friends and loved ones. Literally, you can do that. You can just send an update GPS position to
That is
someone.
actually
Like,
really
it's
cool.
really cool.
Yeah. That's a cool feature. I like that.
And from a safety factor, it's like,
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
and like, think about all the people that just want to go out and kind of, explore the world. But like,
Yeah,
and I know
absolutely.
firsthand because my mom specifically is a very nervous human being,
Uh,
and having contact with emergency response and the people that love you is a very important a very important thing for a lot of people.
oh yeah,
This
absolutely.
solves that problem.
That's really cool. I had no idea. Hmm.
And it's only at the cost of $1,400 that you're going to spend anyway on an Apple iPhone. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it definitely is
they got
something to be
you,
added
but
on.
it's a cool functionality.
Yeah, for the one person it ends up saving, damn, it's worth the money, eh? Uh,
I bet you'll see and they are going to use the hell out of any situation where it does be functional and
oh, for
work really well,
sure.
because I'm
Yeah.
sure it will work. Like, it's
Headlining.
Apple, it will work.
It's gonna be all over the Apple News app. I'll tell you that
Oh,
much.
totally, totally, totally.
Uh,
But it's really cool. It is
that is
really
cool.
cool.
Can
Um,
you hear the AC in the background?
no,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. It was
yeah,
picking
no,
up.
I can't hear
It was picking up a little bit, but hopefully it's not too loud.
it. Yeah, no. I, that's one of the things I'm always all about. Added function is not missing function until it's gone.
True, true. Yeah, can't argue with that.
Um, so
That's a nice addition.
uh yeah, they also released two other things. They released another Apple Watch Series 8, and
Did see that.
they released the Apple Watch Ultra, I believe.
Yeah, I saw that. What's the deal with that?
Um So also back to the iPhone. Finally, it's going to have an always-on display like Samsung has had for fucking years. Great
Wow.
job, Apple. Great job innovating and doing
all part
something
of the
that customers
plan.
have been requesting for literally years. I'm so happy that you have the capacity to. Anyway, good on you. Good on you. But yeah, that's what the watch has. It has an always-on display. It has a night mode. The Ultra has really, really precise like telemetry data and temperature data and sensing and stuff. There's even a feature on it that like they're marketing this new feature that essentially tracks women's ovulation cycles. There's a lot of interesting
Oh,
features
no,
on
I
it.
did see that. And I also saw an article.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about this, but I want to make that its own episode.
Okay, that'll be its own episode. Data
And not
privacy.
yes, data privacy. But yeah, it but great, cool tech. Like,
Yeah,
let's be
no,
real here.
it
Really
is
cool tech.
right.
Could it be
Absolutely.
an issue? Probably. Is Apple handling it well? In my opinion, yeah. The way that they've been handling it's been pretty good. So
Yeah. Well,
I'm
just that's the
happy on that
thing.
accord.
It is a very good thing that they've chosen to encrypt everything client side.
Yeah.
And I do think we should do an episode just on data privacy itself because it's just a massive topic.
It
But
really is. It's a huge thing.
I don't understand how more companies concerned with individuals' privacy and concerned with earning the respect of the consumer when it comes to
they
data
don't do it.
privacy don't do the same thing because it really just
Yeah.
does make sense.
It really does. Yeah, data privacy, new episode, new topic.
Absolutely.
Another thing that they added with the watch was it's got the ability to, since it's got a barometer on it. It's got a really crazy accelerometer that's able to measure up to like 2,500 G's of force.
Cool.
It's got a bunch of temperature sensors. It's got like a certain vibration sensor.
Mhm.
Anyway, what it does is they're really getting into health and health tracking
Yeah, that
and
is what it seems like.
saving people's lives if something goes wrong based on their analytical tracking and stuff. But what it does is there's a feature on it where Apple claims to have recorded 10,000 hours of car crashes. In a
man.
private scenario, like on a testing track, they recorded hundreds of thousands of car wrecks. Or not hundreds of they recorded thousands of car wrecks. And they've analyzed all that data and they've used all these new sensors. And they're like 90, I think the statistic was like 99.5% certain when a car wreck has happened, they can actually gauge how significant the damage will be for the car wreck. And if it does detect a car wreck has happened, it automatically, without question, calls EMS unless you cancel it.
I did see just the new software with measuring like just the threshold of the number of G's and using that, which that is cool. And it is kind of interesting that they're taking the pivot with the Apple Watch into more of the health and the preservation type stuff, which I think is cool. It's gotta find its niche because
for sure.
As just a like communication device, it's really only pretty limited and not a lot of like.
And how much more can you add to a watch? Like
and like me personally, I've never had the desire to get a watch for the communication purposes. Like I don't want to take phones on or calls on my watch. I don't want to use Siri to text on my watch. But like the health stuff, there's a little bit of an appeal there.
It's cool. It's just cool tech.
Yeah.
Like it's
right.
It's
yeah, and even if it's
cool.
not appealing to certain people, it is innovative. I agree.
I think that the functionality of car wrecks and calling EMS, and like the functionality of satellites and stuff, that should be appealing to almost literally everyone.
Do you like life? If so, we got the product for you.
Exactly. But damn, is it a steep price range? Holy shit.
Is it?
It is
what
really
is it?
expensive.
I haven't seen.
The Ultras, I think it was I don't want to get this wrong. I don't want to get this wrong.
I'm sure that it is obscene. Hold on. Let's
It
see.
is. I'm looking it up.
Okay.
It'll be $799.99 for the Apple Watch Ultra.
That's okay. No, that's terrible.
It's insane.
That's terrible.
It is. I knew it was obscene. I was gonna say $899 because I thought it was even more. That's why I had to look it up.
That's
But
terrible.
I knew it was somewhere between $800 and $900. That's a watch, guys. Like, and yes, I know.
That?
Okay, no, don't start. Like, there are people that buy Rolexes.
No,
there are people that
it's
buy...
so different. A Rolex is a valuable investment. And like a Cartier, like a nice designer watch is sure a statement piece. An Apple Watch like that, hold on, does it look that much different from a normal Apple Watch?
It's got its own programmable button on it. It's got a little bit different ring.
Okay,
No,
but
it
like
doesn't look any different.
if you're 15
No.
feet away from me and it's on my wrist, can you tell?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That is awful. The
Can you
nice
tell with a Rolex if
designer
you're 15
watches,
feet away?
The nice designer watches are both a statement piece and B, they're a good financial like investment.
I agree.
It's
I'm
better,
not denying the
it's better
financial
than,
part of it.
That's better than investing in like gold right now. Like,
but you're
buying a
telling me you
watch-
can tell the difference between a Casio watch and a Rolex from 15 feet away.
Okay, that's an off. You could have picked a much better comparison because yes, obviously you could tell that apart. But
Okay.
like, no, you can't. Okay, you can't tell between a Rolex and a Rolex clone from 10 feet away. But obviously, even close up, it's a statement piece. Like, throw a Rolex next to an Apple Watch Ultra, and obviously the Rolex is getting the statement piece, and it's also a good financial investment. Obviously, it's much more expensive, but paying that for this Apple Watch when you could pay like what $250, $300 for a solid model and get
Apple
most of
Watch?
the same functionality.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy a Series 5 now for like $250.
Yeah, it's like, come on. That's okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea. That's insane.
Okay. I've got a little something here. This is just an Apple praise moment here.
We go. This whole episode has turned into
it really is, but
Apple praise.
We talk about them being innovators, and sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. Sometimes they are, but intentionally aren't.
And sometimes they give you a fucking $900 watch.
Sometimes they give you a fucking $900 watch. Anyway, AirPods. AirPods, when they originally came out, full wireless earbuds, they didn't exist. Really, they were really obscenely expensive before Apple AirPods. Apple AirPods were literally what made them $1 trillion company.
Oh no, absolutely. It's
flat out.
If you look at the product metrics for AirPods,
it's ridiculous.
It's hilarious.
I for a product that expensive, I think it's one of the most highly demanded products of all time.
No, I think
for a product that's $150.
That's like, dude, it's like top 5, like literally just products of all time. I think it is the most profitable product ever.
I would not even be surprised. AirPods as a family, yes, absolutely. AirPods just as the original AirPods, I wouldn't even be surprised either.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I saw a statistic that the original AirPods are the highest profiting product ever.
To be doing that much throughput on a product that's like
an accessory,
from $99 to $150,
and it's an accessory for your main devices. I know, it's crazy.
That is breaking the laws of the way like product logic works. That's not how product logic works.
Somehow you found more Apple praise.
But it was genuinely genius. It was, I don't care what you have to say. Apple AirPods, regardless of what you say, are, regardless of your audiophile, regardless of whatever your background is, they are a genuinely amazing product for 95% of the public.
Absolutely.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, they're phenomenal.
Anyone that argues otherwise is a clown.
Yes. Just the only opinion which holds any relevance.
Anyway, they're innovators, right? Apple created a product that is now ripped off by like literally every, headphone company in the world. Like they created a generation. And while we knew that true wireless, like full wireless earbuds were coming at some point, they made it happen. There's no denying it.
Just fucking diving in.
However, they have generally after you make a big hit like this, you'd milk the hell out of it, and they have to an extent, but they've also innovated on their product, and they haven't missed again.
The Gen
3s aren't great.
The Gen 3s aren't great, and the Gen 2 Pros are. There's not a whole lot of reason.
A whole lot different
to buy.
Agreed.
That
I don't even call that Gen 2. I call it 1.1.
Yeah. It is an upgrade. That is true. But I did see the details on this, and like the only thing that I think is cool is like the new touch controls for volume, because that was always kind of annoying. But other than that,
on the new headphones, on the new ones, because there was a Generation 2 of the AirPods Pros before the ones that just got released, and there's more information on the new ones that just got released.
Yeah, no, and then like there was a pretty broad, just like it's like broad sweeping upgrades, like battery life and sound quality and noise canceling, and like yes, it's good upgrades, but they're pretty marginally better than the current Pros.
They're marginally better, but and the Gen 3 ones are just okay. But the original AirPods were great. The original AirPods Pro were a massive upgrade.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And they did crazy sales too, costing $250 too. But again, big innovation. A more recent innovation that they've made that is just genius, that has already existed in the world. It was just never refined. AirTags. AirTags are fucking genius.
Are we just doing a fucking entire inventory of Apple products and talking about how much we
I have
love
my
them?
issues. I have my issues with their phones. I have my issues with their computers, their TV hardware. I have a lot of issues with the fucking trash can computer that was out in 2010 or 2015 to 2018. That was a piece of garbage. And the iMac Pro is also a piece of garbage. Really?
Yeah, okay, but like
your fucking $999 display stand, like, come on.
Yeah. Yes, sure, but the AirTags are only really useful if you're within the Apple ecosystem, like all of their accessory products. It's like yes, it's very innovative.
If you're
to
in their
a sense,
ecosystem, it's amazing.
Oh no,
like,
I agree with that
flawlessly.
But
if you're in their ecosystem,
yeah, I don't know. You got to kind of go. You got to just dive in completely if you want to take advantage of it, which
right, but that's the thing. They know their market share.
Yeah,
they know their market share.
It just annoys me.
Yes, it does. And yes, they're a lockdown company with software that's not open sourced. And yes, and yes, and yes. I know they have their issues. I hate Apple. I hate Apple as a company from a philosophy side. I love the way their economics work.
Yeah.
Their products are top notch. Their software is locked down and terrible. But anyway, Apple AirTags are great. But another thing that they're just doing that just makes sense is the new AirPods Pro V2s have speakers in them like AirTags. They have AirTags integrated into the device.
I did see that, which is nice for you fucking losing all your AirPods.
Yeah, agreed. Again.
How many pairs have you bought?
Like 3. We're not talking about
3
it. Anyway,
AirPod Pros.
Shut up.
No, serious.
But this is no. I understand. Again, but this is the point. This is the point. Why do you think it makes me more excited? Because I'm the target for this.
You shouldn't feel happy that you're the target for this, though.
Apple could have just said, no, I'm not doing that. Lose more, come buy more from me because these are the best products on the market. They could have said that.
They should have, because you would have still gone and bought them.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so now Apple is the gracious overlord that is giving its little minion just a suckling on the teat
All right.
of the AirTags implemented
on.
into the AirPods.
I've done my, I've said the good thing. I've said all the things I really like about their products. The products are great. There's this little bill in in US law and in a lot of countries around the world called right to repair.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, Apple.
That is kind of ridiculous. All of the it's such a just close guarded thing. It's like really you're gonna get this upset over violation of warranties and just make all of your stuff impossible to. It's like
to an extent, I understand why it's like this because you would not be provided the experience that you're getting right now if fail safes and policies like this did not exist.
yes.
Everyone would have it. Everyone would have it if it didn't get enforced this way. There's a lot of companies that try to reverse engineer things, and they still do.
Yeah.
They're going to do it anyway. And this is the part that I'm really, really angry about. They're doing it anyway. They're reverse engineering it. Just no one's as good as Apple at actually engineering. That's just a flat out statement when it comes to phones and stuff. No one's going to be as good as Apple. That's just the end of it. People are still reverse engineering right now, all the Apple hardware.
Mm-hmm.
So when you tell me that service shops cannot get access to parts to repair these devices, you've got to be throwing a load of bullshit. Why can service providers not have a way to order parts and look at schematics to fix parts on iPhones and Apple products? Why? They've even been okay with giving out a commission to Apple for that type of stuff.
Right.
Like they've been okay with that for years. Apple just locks it down.
It is silly. But what can you do?
And I understand them not wanting to give it to the end user and have the end user upgrade it because that's a danger. That's a liability. Okay, sure, that's fine. I'm okay with letting someone else, because with a computer, you can take it apart. The parts are huge. You know where everything goes. It's very clearly labeled. With an iPhone, you're talking about tiny transistors and tiny circuits and stuff that the average person could not do. It is way too overwhelming for an average person. But a certified professional, come on, guys. This isn't 1990. This isn't 1970, 1980, where we're hiding, government secrets from the Soviet Union or some shit like this.
Yeah, it's a little bit absurd. You would think that they would be able to monetize it pretty well too, because everyone
you could make
would want to.
You could make an opt-in platform where for instance, I don't know, your authorized repair service centers or your unauthorized service repair centers have to pay even a yearly, a $3,000 yearly subscription to get access to, they would pay that.
No, they really
money
would.
There is in repairing Apple
repairing
devices?
just Apple stuff. Oh yeah, absolutely.
They would pay it in a heartbeat for that type of equipment. Yeah. Absolutely.
A little bit confusing.
That's
well, one negative to Apple that you've given. Terrible. You must just hate the entire company.
Everyone just does it better. It's true. Everyone in that regard just does it better. You can buy a display for a Samsung phone and fix it yourself.
Yeah. No.
Is it recommended? No, but you can do it.
Right. And as long as it's if you void the warranty and give up your liability, then it shouldn't be a concern from the legal side. And so I really don't understand why they don't just, make it a conditional with, repair retailers or anyone that's servicing these devices. And yeah, like you said, make it a subscription or, a commission off parts or something. And as long as once it's opened up to a certain extent and voids the warranty just to remove Apple's liability, it would make sense. But what can you do?
And another thing that's really stupid is like technologies that are designed in order to like alert a company that your device has been, tampered with
Mhm.
against the will of certified users or certified repair, companies.
Right.
Um, like I think that like a lot of laptops, even non, Apple laptops, Apple for sure, if you take out the hard drive, the boot drive, it
Mhm.
won't boot with a different hard drive
Yeah.
at all. It just won't do it. A lot of their hardware is hardware locked. Like you can't even upgrade stuff in them because they're hardware locked.
Right.
And even like getting new displays, like again, this right to repair shit, they will throw a fit if you put a new certain parts into an iPhone. Like they will throw a fit. The phones will themselves, just because they're programmed that way.
Yeah. It is pretty funny, but at this point, I can't see any of that changing anytime soon.
No, absolutely not. You can just
Um,
yell and argue into the abyss as much as you want.
Pretty much. But hey, there you go. That's gonna be the Apple episode now.
Yeah.
Somehow we turned it into that. But hey, it's worth talking about. Apple.
If there's any other
Apple's a
if there's any
somewhat
other major
prominent
companies
company.
you want us to talk about, let
Yeah,
us
no,
know.
we'll just. I honestly don't know how that turned into the Apple episode, but it did, and maybe that's gonna be a thing now. Maybe we're just gonna talk about
Yeah,
and
that'd be
dissect
great.
different companies. Hey, there
Yeah,
you
that'd be
go.
fun. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments because like that'd be sick. I'd love to go into certain companies because
That
a
would be
lot of
kind of fun.
companies do a lot of corporate
Do
espionage,
do some
and that's an
more.
interesting topic.
Yeah, do some more prep on some different companies and kind
Yeah,
of just dive in a little bit more. That'd be interesting.
there's a lot of companies as well that have been around for freaking ever
Oh yeah,
and have a lot of history.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind. But yeah,
Yep.
there we go. The Apple episode. I'm sure that'll make its way into the title somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, as always, we do appreciate any comments, any likes. We especially appreciate reviews, I will say. Boost that algorithm a little bit,
Boost it.
get us out to the ears of the people so they can hear about our Apple praise. Matthew's Apple praise to be specific. But
Hey,
yeah.
you had some nice things to
I
say.
had some
just
nice
talked
things
over
to
you the whole
say,
time.
but you just, I mean, man, gung ho, going after it. But I respect it. But
I've said
anyway,
everything that I want to say, and all I have to say now is that I don't buy all Apple products. I own a Dell laptop. Own a Windows PC. I am far and away extremely diversified. When it
oh,
comes to my
wow.
phone, it's going to be an Apple phone. When it comes to my headphones, it's going to be AirPods, with exception to my Sony's. They're just better.
Just
Sorry, there's not much else to it.
Name every single technology product you own right now. Go.
That'd take
Please,
too long.
please don't do that.
That would take way too long.
Spare me, spare the listeners.
And the audience.
Thank you, everyone. This has been episode 5 of Dorm Room Diplomacy. We will see you next time.
See ya.